Hello and welcome to Pet with Lush. Today we have the all-new Porsche 911 from 2019. This generation is called the 992. It's all new. So let's talk about this beautiful new exterior, the interior, and of course the infotainment system. So let's go. The Porsche 911 has shown amazing resilience to the passing fashion of more than 5 passing decades. Its look, its dynamics and its very purpose have been steadfast and yet adaptive. And now it's time for the next step, but in the same direction. A new generation 911 has only happened 8 times, only 8 times since 1963. And sometimes they are more of a big change, and this time the generation leap is kind of medium sized from the 991 to the 992 we have right here. So let's start off with the front of the car. The new car is substantially wider than the predecessor, but you can see why, because more width means more grip and more space for wider and thicker tires. The rear tire is actually 21 inch and it feels more like a supercar when you drive it right now. Up front it still has the look of the 911 that we are used to. It has these beautiful eyes at the front, the Porsche LED matrix system, very nice large bumpers up front and big air vents as well, and a very small bonnet up front. For aerodynamics, there are active cooling flaps up front that when open also negate front lift. For the S and the 4S we now have about 30 more horses at 450 braking horsepower, and it does 0 to 100 km an hour in about 3 seconds for the 4S. So the fastest goes from 0 to 100 km an hour in about 3 seconds, the cheapest in about 5 seconds, and the most eco-friendly in about 4.4 seconds. Now the side of the car is simply gorgeous. Simply look at these huge tires up front and in the back. These front wheels are about 20 inch and in the back they are even 21 inch, which is huge for such a small and compact car. You fuel up the car here at the front, and what's also very noticeable is that the wheel arches are a lot wider than the car itself. So that gives it a lot more of a sporty vibe to it. These are the wheels in the front. Nice red brake calipers with the Porsche engraved in it. And these are, if I flip the screen, 245, 35, 20 inch. And beautiful spokes on these wheels as well. It has a panoramic roof which is slightly opened right now. Now let's take a look at this beautiful rear. It actually has a spoiler even though you can't see it right now, and that's because it has 3 different positions. It has the position down, as you see now, and it has the position a mid-range low drag eco position, and the full speed full up setting that keeps you earthbound when it reaches that top speed aircraft mode speed. When the spoiler is down it's beautifully integrated, but when it's fully out it kind of looks like the whole arse of the car is falling off. When we compare the new bag to the old one, we can clearly see that the old one had a different exhaust system. It was either wide or very narrow exhaust, and now they are very wide. And also you have the Porsche emblem or written below the rear tail lights, and that wasn't like before, and the new one looks a lot more modern. Beautiful exhaust tips integrated with the whole car. Everything simply fits nicely. You can clearly see the 911 992 from 2019, and here you have a better look at the tail lights, where you can also clearly see that the Porsche is written underneath it, and they go around the car having a very modern touch to it. So all in all, I'm very hyped about this exterior, the quality and everything that has been used. But now, let's take a look at the interior to see what's up. So as you can see, it's a huge door, very nicely made. And of course here at the bottom, you have the 911 Carrera 4S. So I have the key right here, and it actually feels like you're sitting on top of the ground. That's how low it is. Well, the key feature of the 911 is that you can actually see out of it. Right now I have windows all around me, even one on top, and the hood in front of me, I can't even see it because it's that small. I can just see the sides, which are slightly bigger. But apart from that, you have a very clear view of the road all around you. So it has a very nice steering wheel, and everything is very nice, to be honest. So to actually start the car, you have a small lever on the left side, and if you flip it, it turns on. And of course, as long as you don't press the brake, it doesn't fully turn on. To start the car, flip this switch, your seat goes to the front, and this really catches your eye that I'm almost out of gas. It has a rev counter in the middle, and it's a real rev counter, so it's not a display, but on the left it has a display for the kilometers an hour and the time, and on the right side the navigation. Actually, the display that you have here in front of you kind of overlaps your media display. The screen is very responsive and very high resolution. It's touchscreen, which I'm not the biggest fan of. So if you don't like to use the touchscreen, you can always use the very small hardware controller here at the right side. It's a lot smaller than, for example, on the BMW, but it does its job. It has the buttons to scroll up and down, it has a button to go back, and it has an OPT button. I'm not sure what that does. I'll be honest about that. The steering wheel is beautifully made. It has a button here at the bottom for the drive mode, so that's really cool. So if you press that, you can change the driving mode to normal, wet, sport, or sport plus. So if I go to sport plus, you have the chassis of the car normal and sport. The spoilers are over here, and if I keep pressing the button, it will get the spoiler out. So now the spoiler is inside, but if we press it, the spoiler comes out. So let's have a look. So this is what it looks with the spoiler out. It looks pretty cool. Let's go back to the steering wheel. You have the options on the left side for your voice commands. You can change the sound. You have some other buttons over here. And this one seems like you can configure it. You can add a function to that button to make it easier to, have everything personalized. This button, probably to play the next song or station. On this side you have the phone button, the back button. You can scroll and as you can see, I pressed this button, which will change this limits ACC off. I don't no idea what I'm doing. Let's just keep it at navigation, I guess. So the feel in the cabin, the leather is genuine. It has a very comfortable feel to it. A lot of high quality materials. I see suede here at the sides, which you can actually expect from such an expensive car. Very nice stitching done. The seats are very comfortable. I like this mocha color on the interior, and these sports seats have the Porsche emblem here at the top. It has a very nice feel to it, I have to be honest. And I can kind of see why this one is so much more expensive than the other car brands. Over here in the center you have the buttons for cooled seats and heated seats, and of course the panoramic roof buttons are here as well in the middle. This one is completely open, this one is only opened at the back. I like how they made the buttons, they kind of look like in an airplane, the flaps, and they are very quality made. I like them a lot. Up front, beautifully made underneath the display are these buttons. These you can configure yourself again. As you can see, you can configure them. And you have a button for the lights. Very cool buttons. Underneath, very slim, the ACC vents. Very nice dashboard over here. Heated seats and cooled seats. Of course, heated and cooled seats for the passengers as well. ACC controls over there. And of course, the change between reverse, neutral and drive. So at the doors you have limited space. You have one little bit of room over here and some other room over there near the Burmeister surround sound system. A very nice clock, expensive clock that is, showing the time. But overall it's a very quality interior, and anyone that steps in this car for the first time will feel like they are in a very luxurious, sporty car, at least an expensive car. So let's take a closer look. So my seat is in the normal driving position, and as you can see, it doesn't leave much space in the back, but enough space for smaller children, or at least some little kids. So guys, that was the video for today, the 2019 Porsche Carrera 911 4S, and I hope to see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye bye.